wrong with you? Those are my men in there!
Day of the Dead.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Twisted Locker, your definitive horror podcast. Today we're going to be doing another classic review, and we've got George A Romero's 1985 classic, Day of the Dead, and it's the third movie in the Dead trilogy, supposedly meant to be the last one, the final chapter in the Dead trilogy.
It fucking should have been. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got 1985's Day of the Dead. This is my absolute favourite zombie movie of all time, not just in Romero's Dead trilogy, my absolute favourite zombie movie. Me and you caught this one in cinema, Jenks, last week, I think.
Yeah.
And it's got to be the best experience I've had in cinema watching a classic movie. And it was only a few weeks ago I watched one of my favourite movies from Dusk Till Dawn. And seeing this movie, considering how great this movie is, on the big screen, it just cannot be beat. I had the best time ever. It was a sold-out cinema. Everyone clapped at the end. Everyone screamed when Bub did his salute. It was just amazing. It was such a great experience. The movie itself, we've got a group of researchers, scientists, and some army men. Army men feels weird to say.
Soldiers.
I'll say soldiers. And they live
Army men are these little green toys that you play with when you're a kid.
I thought it felt weird to say, to be fair. Yeah, so we've got a group of scientists and a group of soldiers.
Army men.
They all live in this underground bunker, and the scientists are basically researching these zombies, and then you've got the soldiers then who are basically charged with finding them what they need and keeping everything, and protecting them, keeping everything sound. And the real villains in these movies are the humans, and this movie does really revolve around the human relationships that they have there. And zombies kind of take a back seat in this movie, but when we do get zombie action, it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't like this when it first came out. Well, I was a bit young when it first came out. I didn't like it. Your father got me into it. I was very bored. It wasn't enough zombie action. As a grown-up, like a lot of people, you kind of fall in love with it later. You realise, the character-driven movies are better than just zombie after zombie. I've always thought of Rhodes. There probably will be spoilers in this review because this came out quite a long time ago, 36 years ago. No more than that, 40.
85.
85, yes. So I've always considered Rhodes to be one of the best villains ever, okay?
Hands down.
And but I'm going to say something. It's going to be a little bit like Johnny Lawrence here in Karate Kid. I'm kind of on Rhodes' side. When I watched it on Monday, right, in the cinema, I was thinking, he's lost a lot of fucking men. These scientists haven't really got a solution to this. That Frankenstein, the doctor, I forget his name now. They call him Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He is just an idiot.
He's a buffoon.
He's not doing anything of value. He's just experimenting on them. Like, even when he said we can domesticate them, how the fuck are you supposed to domesticate 500 of the fuckers, coming at you?
I know.
Oh. Here's a Walkman, quick. Stick it on.
Here's a Walkman.
So Rhodes is claustrophobic, and that's one of the best things about the movie. He's feeling the claustrophobia. He's looking after his men. And I think he has a raw deal.
And to be fair, he's a good leader. Like, he really does look out for his men. Like, he's got his men's best interest. And everything he does in that movie can be justified as him being a leader. Like, he's painted as the villain, and he does do some shitty things in the film to the scientists, but there's consequences that lead up to that, really, isn't there?
Yeah. So you're coming around, along with my sort of Johnny Lawrence sort of theory.
Look, Steele is an absolute villain. Yeah, Steele.
He's the big guy.
Yeah. No, he's a proper nut job, right? Whereas Rhodes is painted as this big villain, and he is the villain of the movie. But like you said, he's obviously written in a certain way to where the audience goes, do you know what? I agree with him. We're underground in this bunker. You've got a nut job scientist.
Yeah.
Giving zombies shavers. That's it. We can domesticate them. We can shave. Why do they need a shave? They don't need a shave.
And
their skin's falling off.
Yeah, and his men are having to round these zombies up, not only in the bunker, but up top as well.
And they've lost people doing it.
Yeah, I did notice. You're more familiar with Nick and no Greg Nicotero.
Yeah, yeah.
He's the blonde. He's the blonde guy, isn't
Yes,
he?
yes,
Is
yeah,
he the one who
yeah.
gets his eye fucked up? Oh no.
No, we don't see him die, but then we see his head on
Oh
Frankenstein's
yes,
table.
Frank. Yes, yes.
Um, Funny story about that one, right? Greg Nicotero, while they were on vacation from filming.
Yeah, just to tell, Greg Nicotero is like the
Oh,
brainchild of the Walking Dead TV
absolutely.
show. You know? Yeah,
Yes. And he came up with Tom Savini, and he's a massive name in horror now. But yeah, Greg Nicotero's a youngster in this film. But while there's a scene, right, where his head is on a chopping table and it's all
yeah,
moving and animatronics. And while they were on break from filming, he went back home to visit his mother, and he actually took that with him and put it on the table for his mother to see, like played a prank on his mother.
yeah.
How good is
Oh,
that?
really?
Yeah,
Do you I'll tell you something about the practical effects, right? Watching on the big screen
yeah, I
like we
know.
did Monday, um, when they're in the lab, and I know it's budget, but I just something I noticed, when they're in the lab, the practical effects and the zombie makeup is incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
However,
Don't. There's no
when
howevers. Come on.
look, it's coming from a place of love. I love it. I'm allowed to pick faults, okay? Like I pick faults with you, right? When nobody picks faults with me. I just no, that's too hard. When the lift comes down, right, and all those zombies, don't fucking say you didn't notice that zombie with the fucking Halloween mask on.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, and you
the,
can see his eyes underneath there.
well, not you don't see that. It's a bit far away, but it's not like a crap heavy mask that's way bigger than any human's head, and he's just got a normal body. And I'm thinking, why is that there? Why didn't they just put him in the back,
Yeah,
to make up the numbers?
of course.
And I did notice as well. I mean, again, I'm again coming from a place of love. I know the
Yeah, yeah.
budget is on a shoestring, and it is awesome. But I've noticed that George Romero didn't use any contact lenses in this movie.
No, he didn't, did
All
he? No.
which is a
Well,
kind of a normal thing now. The grayed out eyes of the zombie, but nothing in this.
yeah, but do you know what happened, right? The studio would only George A Romero wanted 7 million. That's what he needed, and it was supposed to be a fortress above ground, and it had all electric fences that went round. There's going to be a giant fortress, and then the soldiers were only going to be the ones protected underneath, and the scientists would be above ground.
Yeah,
And he wanted 7 million, right, for the film, and that's how he wrote it. And he would have got what he needed. But
yeah,
the studio said, if you make the movie unrated and use as much go as you want, you can do that, but we're only giving you 3.5 million. If you want the 7 million, you've got to make it R-rated. But he obviously opted for the lower option,
yeah,
3.5 million per underground. Now it's on a smaller scale than his initial script, but it works so much better. That
yeah,
set in underground is outstanding. You've got all those caverns and tunnels. It's so scary when a few of the scientists get chucked into those caverns. It's so scary because you just see the shadows and they're jumping out here and there. And that's when this film works better, when you've only got when you've got a few zombies, like a small selection, because Tom Savini's gone to work on these guys and made them
yeah.
look hideous.
Yeah, I think it's better for it because
Yeah,
you've got probably less characters. You probably trimmed the cast,
yeah,
which makes it bit more time for character development. You've also got the claustrophobia of being underground, and the only way to get out really is that lift. And I think it works better. And I love the fact that everyone respects Night of the Living Dead because it's old, it's black and white.
yeah, yeah.
But it's very rarely anyone's favorite. It's usually Dawn of the Dead.
Yes, yeah.
But I do like the fact that this over the years this has become a bit more of a cult classic, and people are realizing this is awesome. Like
It was,
definitely.
it was people's least favorite when it came out, and it did the least amount in the box office. But it's definitely become a massive cult favorite. It's always been my favorite one, to be fair. And do you know what I loved? Right, when we went to cinema to watch it, it was the first time my girlfriend had seen it. I hadn't shown it to her yet, and then when I knew we was going to be in cinema, I thought I may as well wait, and she can see it for the first time on the big screen.
Yeah,
Uh, no matter how jealous I got about that. But do you know the opening scene where it's kind of like a dream sequence where she's like
yeah,
sitting in that room and she goes up against the wall, she's looking at the calendar and all the arms break through. Now, obviously, the first time I seen that, I had a jump scare. Same with everyone else. It's a big jump scare.
Yeah.
But I obviously knew it was coming because I've seen the film loads, and my
You still
girlfriend
screamed.
hadn't. Still screamed.
Ah! Oh,
Oh, one of the biggest jumps I've seen from her. When
is
that
there?
happened, and I was like, yes. Yes.
You know, I love the fact as well that it's in Stranger Things when you go to the cinema.
Yes. Yeah.
Season 3, because it obviously must be set in 85.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what I love about it that in Stranger Things, the power cut just before that bit, you think, oh, what? But
Yeah.
it's teasing you, and it comes on later, and then it's poof, the jump
Yeah.
fright.
It's so good.
Yeah, yes, I love
Yeah,
it.
and the only thing I need to mention before we wrap this one up is Rhodes' iconic choke on them scene. One
Oh,
of
it's the best.
the greatest deaths ever. And again, it just goes to show how much of a master Tom Savini is. That scene, right, when he's getting pulled through the door and he's having his stomach ripped open.
Yeah, and
And
his legs off.
that famous line, choking them, which was ad-libbed on the spot. That
Is it?
wasn't in the script. He just said it as it was happening. I don't feel like we've spoke about the gore as much as I wanted to in this one, but it's fine. But the reason I love this film so much is mainly down to the gore as well. There's so many scenes in this movie, still to this day, blood curdling. Arms
Yeah.
getting chopped off, the eye being pulled,
Oh,
stomach
do,
open.
do you know the bit that always gets me, that goes through me? Not the eye. The eye. It's when the vocals get ripped and his
His
voice, the
voice goes
guy's voice
funny.
gets distorted, like as if it would happen if you were still screaming mid having your head ripped off.
So good.
And it is awesome. And I think they used real like pig innards
They
when they
did.
ripped him in half, and he stunk, didn't he? Because the fridge broke or something. Isn't it?
Yes, yeah. Tom Savini's always used, animal parts, blood,
Yeah.
guts, everything. Obviously makes for good
Yeah.
go. But what I will say, guys, if you did enjoy that video, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.